So over like your 17 years, what like areas within this industry have you been in? And like, how did you arrive kind of to working with strategic consulting services and going into more of like this route of working with the automotive industry, not necessarily in the actual dealership?
Sure. I was obviously in the retail space. I was working, I'd come in, between 8 and 8:30 in the morning and sometimes leave at 11:30 at night. Right.
It's a long day.
I would turn the key, either my general manager or myself would turn the key in the morning. And then a lot of times I was the one turning the key at night.
Wow.
And I did that for quite a while. My now partner was my agent.
Really?
At the time.
Wow.
Yes, in the dealership that I worked at. And I had a little son. I was a single dad. And I had a son, and he was getting to that age where he was starting to play, Little League. Mm-hmm. And I always told myself that, hey, I saw one thing that you do see in the automotive space is there's a lot of sacrifice. Mm-hmm. I was saying that earlier, and I did not want. That's the one thing I did not want to sacrifice was having that relationship and being a part of those things because you can never get them back. Yeah. So. I had a conversation. I started doing some interviewing. I was getting recruited to this side of it, and had a conversation with my now partner that, hey, look, here's the deal. I'm considering moving over to the agent side. Mm-hmm. And he said, whoa, wait a minute, time out. No, you didn't even ask if you want to be a part of our organization. And I said, well, I didn't want any conflict to be there because you have a relationship with my employer. So anyway, he said he had a conversation with my dealer, and then he made me an offer, and the rest is history.
Wow. How did that change kind of your personal life and like moving into just making that kind of shift? Did you discover things about the job that you did that you realized like, oh, wow, I didn't know I was passionate about this. I didn't know this was going to affect my life this way that you've learned from? Even moving into consulting, like what does that look like in your passion?
Yeah, I've always had, especially in my younger years, I always had a want to learn, right? I always wanted knowledge. I was always striving to get more knowledge. I went through a period of time when I was in the retail space because it was quite a grind. That kind of got put to the side. Right. Mm-hmm. And I lost that desire. It was kind of, wash, rinse, wash, dry, repeat. Right. And I just, when I got to this side of it, I found that, there was a lot about the business that I did not know.
Wow.
And I didn't know how to go get it. Quite frankly, I knew that I was a good practitioner, right? Mm-hmm. But I wasn't as good as I thought I was. So I started to meet people that had been in the business a long time, by way of going from dealership to dealership, meeting a lot of knowledgeable people. And I was learning so much about the business by just, having conversations. Right. So it drove me to want to know more. So I started seeking out every night when I would come back from working. I would go and I would just get on the internet, and I started finding organizations and articles and books. And so I just started in podcasts. And so I just started engulfing myself into the industry, and it really made me passionate about what I do. Mm-hmm. And then it just like was a light switch. I was like, you know what? Being in a single point, in a dealership or being in one organization, I can only affect the customers and the people that work with me on a daily basis, right? But now I have an opportunity to impact as many lives as I can touch, right? So it's my responsibility to go out and gain knowledge that I can pass on to others.
Mm.